or should we go this way?
I think you should go that way.
You think we should go this? You're going to be last. Okay.
Yeah.
So my topic, I was going to talk about this last week. It was going to be, and I wanted Weston here because for those of you guys that don't know, he is. I mean, do you want to explain kind of all the education and training you have?
He's smart.
I'm actually not, but I have my degree in computer science, and I teach at a college for computer programming and game design and development.
So you are
graphic design,
technology,
web design randomly.
I know, right?
We won't talk about that. Go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
You are technology smart though, and that's why I kind of want to get your opinion on this. And also, you deal with people a lot more. You know, the general public, I think, a lot more than I do, or not general public, but you deal with a lot more people than I do. So it seems like back in the day, you know, when cameras first came out, everyone was taking pictures of literally everything, right? Like it was, okay, let's sit down, we're going to get a picture of this. Then they switched to video, and everyone for, I don't know, let's say from, I mean, obviously not the 50s, but like, you know, back in like the 80s and 90s, every single person, it seemed like, had a video recorder, you know, a cassette recorder, whatever you want to call it. And they were making home videos, they were, you know, recording their kids, all this stuff. And it seems like now with cell phones, even though we have better video players or video recorders than ever, everyone just takes pictures again. So it's almost like we went from stage 1 to stage 2, and now we're back in stage 1, and I want to know why you think that is.
Okay, well, first off, you have a slightly wrong viewpoint of this. It's not really stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 1.
Well, that's a very
because
simplistic.
Look at the quality of the images that we're taking out as well.
For sure.
The sheer data that's stored in a single image today is the equivalent of an entire video back in the 80s. So you have to be aware that data storage is also going to play into this. Because where are you storing all this data? The storage spaces aren't free, and they also aren't as permanent either.
No, I mean, you're right, but it's more of not the storage thing. It's more of like the concept of it. You know, like just from the general mindset, everyone's like, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take pictures of my kids. We're going to take pictures of this vacation. We're going to do this. And it seems like the only people now that record videos are not like the general people that would before. It seems like it's more of the, you know, the only people that actually do is, I guess, YouTubers or whatever. Like, you know,
those who use it in their profession.
Yeah, like very few people will record videos of their vacation. Very few people are going to go out of their way and record Christmas morning. They're like, hey, let's just use our phone. We're going to take pictures. Or if they do a video, it's like, you know, a 15-second on Snapchat story, and that's going to be about it.
If I can jump in a little bit. Sorry,
go
Weston. It's not necessarily, like you said, the stage is up in technology and the stage is back, whatever. It's what's new at the time. Photos were kind of, you know, the radical thing back in the day. And so there was a boom in that, and people were interested.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with, you know, video with camcorders back in the 80s or 90s and all that, whatever you want to call it. And there was a boom, and it kind of went away. Like, that stuff develops technologically and gets more smooth and expensive. And once that initial boom is done, if you don't need to use it, if it takes effort, people push it to the wayside because people only care about what's, you know, easy to get, what's easy to use. Like the average layperson, everyone has a smartphone, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. That's it. That's right
like
there available for them, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to perfect that, I guess. So that stuff is still viable. Video is still used. It's still, it's more advanced and crazy and awesome than it ever has been. It's just, that's not the average person, you know?
Which I just think is odd that, you know, I guess, I get it, you know, it's easier to take a picture. But if you have that available, why wouldn't you record more? Just so that way it,
laziness.
like the memories would be better preserved, I guess.
Laziness.
You know? Not only that, but look at the values the individuals have these days as well. It's been a total shift versus, like, if you look at what the community valued back in
society's gone downhill.
The 80s,
That's
there's
true.
actually much more family-centric than what it is today. Today is much more of an individual-centric.
That's a good point.
So they wanted to capture the image or like the videos of their children growing up because that was what was important to them.
Yeah.
Today, we are very self-centered. I mean, do you know how many selfies go up on a given day?
Way too many.
Exactly. It's a very individual-centered, selfish I don't really want to say necessarily selfish, but it's very self-centered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So that's also, I think, playing into this very strongly.
Yep.
We're kind of feeding our own ego in that regard.
Yeah. See, because like when I went on my vacation last month, I obviously did it, for YouTube stuff as well, but I vlogged almost every single day I was gone because not only did I want the memories of it, but then posting it on YouTube and stuff so, like other people could see and like and even if it wasn't for YouTube though, I would have recorded videos. It just wouldn't have been as much of me. I guess if it wasn't going up on YouTube, if it was just for my own personal thing, because I guess I enjoy videos. I enjoy taking them. I enjoy, like the editing process of it. And I know that you don't have to edit everything. I know that's not everyone either.
That's
but
another point to why we're kind of going back to photos is it's much easier to upload a photo than it is to take time to sit down and potentially edit a video.
Well, I mean, even back, I don't even know how many hours of old tapes of like videos of me growing up I have on my computer because my parents recorded everything. Like I still have that video camera in the bedroom over here. And it's weird to me that, how easy it is just to point and shoot. Like, I could hold this out and start recording Tim right now. I could record this conversation, from my point of view, even though it's being recorded there. And I could just instantly upload it to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Like, so, I mean, it's not even you have to edit. You could just record and upload. So I think saying editing is the reason why people don't. It kind of is a cop-out because back then there was no editing. I mean, not for the home videos.
And that's part of it, though, is that with the advent of like editing and stuff and the way it's progressed, there could be things in the home videos that you don't want people to see.
That's true. You can control a lot more.
You can control what gets out, like what gets put out there.
Which is kind of back to what you said, I guess, with being self-centered. You don't want people to see the mess in the corner,
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that as well. When I go live,
mess over there, guys.
All right, it's actually fairly clean over. But when I go live at night, if there's something behind me, I'll kick it off this way because this part of the room is not on camera. So I'm guilty of that. I'll just I'll slide it across the floor and be like, well, here we go. Or like if it's hidden behind my chair, like the mess on the floor right there, no one sees that because I'm blocking it. So I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I get that part as well.
Yeah.
But even when you're saying like you can, videotape Tim with your phone, right?
Yeah.
Like people do that still. My parents do that all the time. Like if you looked at their phone, all it is photos and videos of my nephew. So but they're also the past generation.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's like an uncommon thing. I think it just sits on their phone.
Yeah.
So do you think it stems from laziness then is what we were going back to?
I don't know. New generation, new society. I think they don't care for that most part, I guess.
Because I know, you're a father, so I mean, I'm sure you have a lot more pictures of your kid than videos, right?
We do,
is that just because you didn't want to pull out the phone and record it, or is that because you just wanted the picture? Like,
I
guess what's the mindset on it? Because I would be recording, in my mind, everything.
Yeah. So for us, it kind of goes back to the whole controlling what people like the mess kind of thing. Like, I can take a photo of my son and you don't see the toys that he has everywhere in the room, but when I take that video, you can see everything in the house.
See, and I think, like, I don't know, at least from my point of view, if there was a bunch of toys, I would want that in the video.
Yeah.
Because then, like, when he's, your age, he can go back and see that and be like, oh, wow, look at all those toys I had as a kid. Or, like, see one in the corner and be like, it would, like, unlock a memory, like, holy crap, I remember playing with that, you know? So, like, in my mind, I think just preserving things with video is a lot better.
I can see that point.
I think we don't see a lot of what happens, though. Like, you're kind of talking, like, take something, put it out there, let people see, enjoy it, what you enjoy. But let's kind of be real. The internet's a horrible place.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And I think a lot of people that do that, I think there's still a lot of people that do that, but they don't put it out there because that's dangerous nowadays, and it opens yourself up to criticism.
Just
and all
people.
it is, like social media and everything nowadays, it's look at me, I need to be this facade, this face that's not actually me, but what I'm putting out there, and just to get that like or that comment or whatever.
But going, then branching off of that too, what if you didn't put it out there, but you just kept it, like on a drive, right? Like you just kept it.
I know a lot of people that do that.
Like you just had a solid state drive or something, that you had in the closet, and then like in 20 years you can be like, hey, you know. Now, obviously, that's if solid-state drives, like with SATA or stuff, are still Like if
There'll always
technology,
be adapters.
I mean, there's gonna be adapters and stuff, but that's gonna be more complex. But you get where I'm gonna
Just
go
an
with this.
external hard drive.
I-
USB.
I just
It
saw.
doesn't matter.
I just saw a van yesterday that had a VCR in it. Still,
That's incredible.
so I mean, the technology is always gonna be
That's how you
there.
do it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 6 adapters to get to it,
but it's still there.
but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, even if you don't upload it to the internet, you can still have it. Like that's I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I don't like whenever I do have kids, I plan on videotaping a ton, and if I
Yeah,
upload
sure.
a vlog to YouTube with it or not, that way they still have it. I still have it where I can look back on it in like 20, 30 years. Because like when I was in Atlanta, Logan and I were talking. It's like it's gonna be fun in 15, 20 years to rewatch these videos of me down there hanging out with him, and we can be like, oh yeah, I remember when we did that.
I
Otherwise,
met Mr. Bean.
That actually brings
Love
up
you,
another
Logan.
point as well. Look at also how far technology has advanced and how fast it has advanced.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at our parents' generation. A lot of them were lucky to have any type of a camera when they were
Yep.
young. So
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of these images as memories to remind them
Yep.
of those things.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
look at the current generation. They've had this their entire lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they don't understand the difference. And maybe they're just taking it for granted as well. And that's
Yeah.
why they may not
Yeah.
take as many videos. Is they may
that
not
might
think it's
be
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That very well might be it.
Yeah, I know. We you said like old photos and everything. We've been going through a lot of the stuff at my house. It was my dad's, and we found a chest yesterday or the other day of just pictures and pictures and pictures.
Yeah.
It's
Of
just
him or of you?
of him actually.
Okay.
Like which is if like you guys met my dad, he was older,
Yeah.
but there were pictures of him as a baby,
Oh wow.
which is insane to think of. No,
And if you
how old he
don't
was.
mind me asking,
Yes.
what year was he born?
1941.
Okay, so I mean that's
So
Yeah.
You know,
early
that's-
40s.
That's a long time ago.
See, that's impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was not the norm.
No, it
No, for
wasn't.
sure,
Like
that's-
stuff like that wasn't a normal thing back then.
Yeah.
But
Society changes.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's very impersonal now. Sentimentality has kind of gone to the wayside, so I
Yeah.
think that's just
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
thing now.
See, I guess, like I said,
Big issue.
my mindset is I want the memories.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
like 30 years, I think it's really cool to have the videos. So when I take a trip, then of course I'm gonna videotape it. There's some things like if I go somewhere by myself, like let's say, to a Timberwolves game, right? Like that's not something I need extreme memories of. So like I'll just snap a few pictures while I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna videotape the whole thing because like that's 3 hours away, I guess. And in my mindset, and this kind of goes off of it too. Like I do that enough to where I don't need the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's like great. Like, am I gonna care if the Timberwolves won the game I went to like on this random day? Like I take one trip to Atlanta, so I'm gonna record that. But I can go to Minneapolis whenever I want. So I guess maybe that plays into it too. Is like a lot of people just such a common routine they don't care, and that might be it as well. But I don't know.
Maybe
What do you guys think?
Interesting thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
fun stuff.